On June 25, 2009, at exactly 2:26 p.m., Michael Jackson was pronounced deceased at Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center. He was 50 years old and he never woke up from his last sleep. By the time paramedics even arrived at his rented Holmby Hills mansion, Michael had already been gone for nearly an hour, and the only person in the room with him had spent that hour not saving his life. Michael was just 18 days away from his comeback tour. This is it. 750,000 tickets had already been sold. He was officially pronounced deceased at 2:26 that afternoon, but the real story of how he passed away doesn't start there. It starts 10.5 hours earlier at 4 a.m. when Michael Jackson was lying in bed begging his personal doctor for the only thing that ever helped him sleep. And it ends with a blue Costco bag, a slit IV bag, and 82 minutes of silence that nobody could ever explain. If we look back at the hours leading up to his demise, we can see exactly how everything fell apart. It all started the evening of June 24th, just hours before the tragedy. Michael was at the Staples Center rehearsing for the tour. He'd been struggling for weeks. Director Kenny Ortega had watched him arrive at rehearsal 6 days earlier on June 19th, shivering, disoriented, unable to hold a conversation. Ortega rubbed his cold feet, fed him with a spoon, wrapped him in blankets, and sent him home. That same night, Ortega emailed AEG Live's CEO in a single line. "I saw Michael that frightened me, a lost boy." An emergency meeting followed the next morning. Michael's personal physician, Dr. Conrad Murray, showed up angry and told Ortega to back off. Michael's health was his job. But here's the thing nobody outside that room knew. Murray wasn't being paid by Michael. He was being paid $150,000 a month by AEG Live, the same company that had Michael locked into a 50-show contract he never wanted. Originally, only 10 shows had been planned. Michael had told his mother on the phone, "Mom, I don't know if I can do this. I can't handle 50 shows." But by then, it was too late. AEG had already sunk $20 to $30 million into the production, and Michael had no real choice. So the company had one job for Murray: get him on stage at any cost. What most people don't know is that Michael's dependence on propofol didn't start with Conrad Murray. It started in 1984. During a Pepsi commercial shoot, pyrotechnics ignited Michael's hair, leaving him with second and third degree burns across his scalp. He was 25 years old at the peak of his career, and the painkillers prescribed during recovery never really left his life. By the mid-90s, on the History World Tour, a German anesthesiologist started giving him propofol every single night. And here's where it gets dark. Propofol isn't a sleep medication. It's a hospital-grade anesthetic used on patients before surgery, which makes them go dark. Michael called it milk because of its white color. In April 2009, just 2 months before his demise, Michael had asked a nurse practitioner named Cherilyn Lee for the milk. She refused and warned him directly,
"But what if you don't wake up?" Correct?
Yes.
And he responded again, "I will be okay. I only need someone to monitor me with the equipment while I sleep."
Yes, that's exactly what he said.
1 month later, AEG hired Conrad Murray, and between April and June of 2009, Murray ordered 225 vials of the milk from a Las Vegas pharmacy, roughly 4 gallons of surgical anesthetic. Every shipment was delivered to his girlfriend's apartment in Santa Monica. But the strangest decisions Murray would ever make weren't the ones he made before Michael's tragic passing. They were the ones he made in the 82 minutes after. Now, on the night of June 24th, something unexpected had happened. Michael came alive on stage. After weeks of barely showing up, he rehearsed Thriller, Dangerous, and Earth Song with full intensity. He left the Staples Center at 12:30 a.m. with a huge smile. He stopped briefly at the front gate of his rented mansion to wave at a small group of fans. Then he went inside. Conrad Murray was already waiting upstairs. The bedroom at 100 North Carrollwood Drive looked nothing like a hospital. There was an IV stand, a saline drip. Pill bottles, vials, syringes, and oxygen tanks were scattered across tables, shelves, and the floor, but there was no pulse oximeter, no blood pressure cuff or EKG that would alert Murray if Michael's breathing slowed or his heart stopped.